Greetings, everyone. As promised, I thought I'd make a video about anadiplosis for you. I believe I made this, I don't know what this project is called. I'm so old. I guess a slides project years ago. And when classes ran in person, I think we would spend 10 or 15 minutes going through this. So here's just how I would present in class. So anadiplosis, another one of these rhetorical patterns. So let's take a look and see what we can find here. Bring my pen out. Um, the general who became a slave, the slave who became a gladiator, the gladiator who defied an emperor. I think I ripped this one off from the movie Gladiator. And you can all figure out what the pattern is. We see that slave and slave connect these two clauses, gladiator and gladiator connect those, but there really is no similar connection to general and emperor, the way that slave and gladiator repeat. And what we've learned so far in rhetoric is that we're, unlike all your previous OR training, now we're looking to repeat words, but they have to be placed in certain positions to make it clear that you are communicating to your reader the way that Ellison communicates to us by the words you use and where you use them. So let's take a look at another one, if I can make this work. This is the one that was in the handout. I think it's Dickens, right? For want of a nail, the shoe was lost. For want of a shoe, the horse was lost. For want of a horse, the rider was lost, being overtaken and slain by the enemy. So, pen again. Shoe to shoe, horse to horse, and then it changed. So we start from nail, go to shoe, continue with shoe, horse, horse, and then rider, all these nouns, one after the other. Some of them connect, some of them don't. And if I'm not mistaken, the next slide is where, okay, here's our definition. Anadiplosis is employing the same language at the end of a clause or a sentence and the start of the next. So your pattern is A, B, B, C, like shoe, horse, horse, emperor, just making stuff up. Although I guess I don't have to because here we've got one. So, okay, let's go ahead and annotate. Mountains would be the A term. And then here's the real kick of the anadiplosis, the same language at the end of marathon, or at the end of the clause, marathon, and then marathon at the beginning of the next clause. And then C turns out to be the C term, A, B, B, A. I fear no one did this on the first day. Some people will go A, B, B, A. That is also a rhetorical device called a chiasmus. Some of you have used them already. We will use them, but not yet. What I'd like us to do is get comfortable with anadiplosis and disregard the name. Even if you can, disregard the annoyance. I've found over the years that this is the one device that students just readily adopt, and I see it in their essays and even college essays. It seems unconsciously to show up, and it's a really neat device because what it does is focus that by doubling up the middle term so quickly, so the reader knows this isn't a mistake, that you're just not filled with only 10 words that you have to keep reusing and rehashing, that you're trying to reinforce some particular concept. The mountains look on marathon and marathon looks on the sea. So let's go ahead and read through just a couple of these that I've put in the slides here, and then I'll leave you alone. Okay, so this one, Mr. Stoller, I had long ago. Fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering. We know what great poet came up with these words. It was Yoda from I think the Phantom Menace. And so even though an anadiplosis is A, B, B, C, here we can actually go, pen please, A, B, B, C, C, D. I don't know how effective this construction really is. It's fun in Yoda's mouth. You know, the old ABBC, I think, is the way you want to attack things initially. But it's just a pretty famous one. So thought I'd include that. Okay, next, let's get rid of that, Yoda. Okay, now you, as always, if you're using them just to use them, you don't get any points on this. Mrs. Roth will destroy you next year in OR. She hates any kind of metaphorical language that doesn't have a concrete effect that it's trying to achieve. I feel my role is to introduce you to all the toys, and then her role is to tell you when you can take them out to play. Um, but so let's take a look and see what effect this one would have. The meat is cold because you have not come home. So I'm gonna have to guess right away that cold is probably our first term. Home is the second one. This will be an extended anadiplosis. I know one of you tried this in your OR last night. No need to overachieve, just a simple ABBC is all that's required. But let's just take a look at this. You came not home because you have no stomach. You have no stomach because you broke your fast. But we that know what it is to fast and pray, D, are penitent for your default today. And it looks like we've got a poem here. Okay, so we really go from cold to penitent, connected by home, stomach, fast. And the anadiplosis helps you link these, in this case, these poetic lines, but these clauses of meaning get linked together by this device. Alrighty, clear it all. Let's see what's next on my list here. Oh, and by the way, the effect here, this is a reverse cause and effect. I think we know what it's like to fast, or at least this part. Why is the meat cold? Because you have not come home. Why did you not come home? Because you have no stomach. So initially, because you have no stomach, in other words, because, and why do you have no stomach? Because you broke your fast. So a nice meal was waiting for you to be had at home, but you didn't come home because you weren't hungry, because you broke your fast. So it's the reverse cause and effect in this particular one right here. I may ask you to do that sometime this week. I forget. I'll have to go take a look at the syllabus later. Okay, so here's something really advanced. The beach was a desert of heaps of sea and stones tumbling wildly about, and the sea did what it liked, and what it liked was destruction. Now, I think you may disagree, and that's very healthy and really enjoyable for me. Liked and like clearly are the B terms, and C is the A, and destruction is C. You could argue, I suppose, A is beach, and then C and C, heaps of sea and stone, but it is sea and stones tumbling. But the real strength of the anadiplosis, I think, is down here. The sea did what it liked, and what it liked was destruction. So this is why students seem to favor this particular construction. It really highlights the word destruction. And how does it do it? By repeating liked. Okay, now consider rewriting the sentence this way. The sea heaps stones along the beach. The sea like destruction. Now, that is one of your rhetorical devices. That is anaphora. The sea, right here, and the sea. And it has its virtues, I suppose. But what the anadiplosis does is put a highlight on destruction by delaying it, as it were, with liked and liked. The sea did what it liked, and what it liked was destruction, period. The sea heaps stones along the beach. The sea liked destruction. I hope you can hear the power of it is diminished, in this case, by using anaphora as opposed to anadiplosis. Okay, I think there's only one more, and then hold on. Yeah, so there is no life in thee now except that rocking life imparted by a gentle rolling ship, by her barred from the sea, by the sea from the inscrutable tides of God. So here, the sea is clearly going to be our middle term, or B term. Even if it's not B, if it's like the C term, it's certainly the one right before the end. So, you know, and you can even say like life is A, I guess. Life is A. That's a little awkward. I'd probably just say life is just A. That rocking life imparted by a gentle rolling ship, by her barred from the sea, by the sea from the inscrutable tides of God. And just as we ended up with destruction here, one could argue the effect is to take us high all the way up to the cosmos, to the edge of existence, Start with a C and make your way, elevate all the way up to God. And that effect is reinforced by repeating the word C. So what should you take from all this stuff? The only thing that is crucial to me is just that he's not that crucial. It's actually been crucial in my life, but is that you know what an anadiplosis is, employing the same language at the end of a clause or sentence and the start of the next. And generally, I think in OR this week, don't spread it out over sentences if you don't, or you don't have to. You can contain it in one sentence. So a clause ends with one word, and another clause begins. Okay, so I hope that helped, and I will see you all certainly by Wednesday, but maybe even tomorrow. Bye-bye.